Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Eric Franklin with the Garrison Fort Hood Public Affairs Office.
And I'm one of your co-hosts, Corporal Kyra Pearl with the 3rd Armored Corps Public Affairs Office.
And I am another co-host, Specialist Garrett Dacko with 11th Signal Brigade.
And I am your final co-host, Samantha Harms with the Garrison Public Affairs Office. And you are listening to Fort Hood's
Great Big Podcast. Hey, and welcome back. Excuse me.
Oh, no.
I got a little cough, but I think I got some people in the office today who may be able to help me out. Can you two introduce yourselves for us?
Hi, my name is Major Clarissa Spencer. I am the Chief of Army Public Health Nursing over at Kerdamsey, and we manage and run the flu for Fort Hood installation.
And I'm Captain Kayla Thompson. I'm a Army Public Health Nurse and work over at Darnall Army Medical Center. And I also am the OIC for the influenza program this year.
So, tell us a little bit about what you guys do in the office, because I know that the flu season is coming up, but that's something that you guys got to kind of prepare for year-round. Is that right?
Yes, it is something that we prepare for year-round. Usually when the flu season has kind of died down for most people, as far as getting vaccines around December, it's still going on through January. We'll see a peak in February, and then we're already putting in requests for vaccines for the next season, usually by May. And then we're already starting planning for the next season over the summer.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys, so it's not as easy as what I was thinking in my head, where you only have to work for like 4 months really hard.
What I
it's
was
like
thinking
literally
too.
The whole year round. You was like, oh no, we got
Always
stuff.
working on the flu.
Yes, because at June 30th, we're turning flu in, because that's usually when the flu expires, and we're ramping back up for the next season.
So I know we're starting to get into the colder weather seasons, the best seasons. Not really in Texas, because Texas it's
The
summer.
same
Yeah.
all year.
we get like 2 weeks of, I think it's 2 weeks of winter, and then it's hot again.
Yeah.
So, but I know that we're getting ready to the season is starting to change. It's starting to get a little bit cooler. What are some of those precautions that people could take besides getting their flu shots?
So, yes, winter is coming.
I think we have a little pop culture reference with that.
So with the flu,
Yes.
it is a contagious respiratory illness.
Right. Yes. I was going to ask. Yeah, that's a good. What exactly is the flu? Yeah.
It's a viral illness. So similar to COVID or a cold, it's a virus, and it can cause mild to severe illness and at times lead to death. So we do recommend certain precautions that our community can take and go from there.
So you said, so it's always good to get the flu shots every year, right? So how can I tell my uncle who lives out in Killeen who refuses to get a flu shot? He has not had a flu shot. He hasn't been sick either, but he has not gotten a flu shot in 5 or 6 years because he just completely chooses not to. How can I convince him that it's not just for you, but it's for me too?
And honestly, that's the best that you can do, is when you do have someone who may choose that's not the best option for them, then all you can do is really educate them, help them understand that it is a virus. So, viruses want to live, which is why we have a new vaccine every year, because they can mutate. And so each year, whatever vaccine we're presenting has whatever strain was the most common, the year prior. And so you can educate them. And then if they still choose not to, then the best thing you do for that family member is to protect yourself, which will assist with protecting them.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What are some of the most common symptoms of the flu?
So some people can be asymptomatic.
Oh.
That word, I didn't know what that word was until about 2 years ago.
Do you want to tell us what that word means?
So asymptomatic means that somebody can have the flu illness without showing any symptoms at all.
Oh, wow.
So they can infect other people without knowing it. Symptoms that people might see include fever, They might have a cough, a sore throat, have a runny, stuffy nose, or you might have muscle body aches. People might also have fatigue or headaches. And these kind of sound familiar, kind of sound like
I think this
Very
also
familiar.
reminds me of, the cold, the common cold, or maybe even COVID.
Yeah.
Right. So absolutely essential. If any of those symptoms do present, that you do stay away from others while you are experiencing those symptoms, and you go see your healthcare provider to get tested or to get treatment as needed.
Okay. And so, quick question, since we have people who deal with diseases, infectious diseases and healthcare. So when my mom used to tell me, "Oh, go drink some orange juice, it'll be okay." Is that really going to help me, or
good question.
is it just something that my mom told me to get me out of her hair?
Although we say it's an old wives' tale, it is based in science, right? Vitamin C is different things, but vitamin C is one of those things that do help boost your immune system and will help you fight, viruses. There's other elements that do that also, but it is based in science, right? Orange juice is a good source of vitamin C, but also other things. And you can also look at, and I don't, attest to be a holistic medicine person, but you can always reference reputable sites like the CDC and stuff to see what other things are out there that will help boost your immune system to help you fight any kind of illness that you might come up with, to include flu or COVID.
Okay. Yeah. I just remember that was always a thing when we'd get sick. It's like, go drink some orange juice. Oh my gosh.
It is a personal choice for me.
Yeah.
I definitely start immune boosting myself up if I get sick, and the same thing for my kids.
Okay.
That's awesome. Okay, so one of the things that you had mentioned was we've obviously kind of been talking about the flu vaccine a little bit as well. When do you recommend people get the flu vaccine? Because you had mentioned December is when most people are getting the flu vaccine.
No, December is usually when the season seems to start to wane as far as people going out to get it.
Okay.
CDC recommendation is as soon as the vaccine is available, go ahead and get it. Okay, so when it's available, which a lot of times because we're military, so there's different levels that things have to go through for us to get our supply.
Right.
A lot of times you may see it available out in the community before it's available on posts.
Okay.
But the recommendation is when it is available, go get it.
Okay.
Is it worth it? Is it worth it to leave your loved ones behind? Even large vehicles float, and overconfidence kills. For your own safety, don't drive into floodwater. It's not worth it.
Okay. So with that, we obviously are telling people to go get their flu vaccine.
Yes.
What else should people be doing? Like other prevention methods that they could be doing?
Besides washing their hands.
Well, I was going to say including washing their hands.
Including washing their
Well,
hands.
definitely washing your hands is a big thing, right? People underestimate how important that is. If you ever saw the movie Contagion, it's a different movie when you look at it regular and then look at it through public health eyes. Okay, and washing hands is it is very effective.
Yeah.
Okay? A lot of things too is we did see some, decrease in flu during the peak of COVID because so many people were wearing masks.
Okay.
So definitely just, some of the same things that we were doing with COVID because it is a respiratory thing. Washing hands, wearing masks, make sure you're mindful of being in crowded areas with people. If you're sick, stay home. If you're sick, see what's going on. Don't assume, what illness it is. Like she said, go to the doctor, go find out what's going on, get treated or treat whatever, you're feeling. So those are the things that we definitely recommend. Also, like he talks about the orange juice, keeping yourself healthy, making sure you're eating the things that you need to eat that's going to allow your body to defend it. Because a lot of people get the confusion that the vaccine prevents you from getting it. But the vaccine's goal is to minimize the extreme effects. Now some people will prevent you because it does have a cumulative effect as you get it over the years. Right.
Okay.
But the biggest thing with a vaccine is to minimize because basically it's exposing your body and your body is already building up that army to fight it. So when you get exposed to it, you already have what you need inside of you to fight that disease versus, you getting the disease and you don't have the what you need inside to fight it.
Yeah.
So it's keeping it from being that severe case in most cases.
Okay.
Well, go ahead, ma'am.
I was just going to add one thing Major Spencer mentioned was that with the COVID virus and the flu virus, we have similar symptoms and similar ways they present. So it's important to note you can't tell the difference between those symptoms and determining what necessarily you have. So that's important to go to your healthcare provider to get screened, and they may test for, COVID or flu, and be able to provide treatment based on that. So important to note.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I'm hearing, Sam, is when you keep coming in the office saying your head hurts, I'm going to just start
You're
telling
gonna
you.
call me out.
Yeah, I'm going to be like,
Yeah.
hey, you just need to go get checked out.
Yeah, or every time I'm sniffling, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's allergies. And you guys are like, I don't
Not
believe
allergies.
you.
Omicron does present as allergies.
See?
Oh
Well,
boy.
a lot of people get it confused with allergies because it tends to be more here.
Okay.
With the different variants with COVID, it tends to be more in the head, in the upper respiratory area.
Okay.
So a lot of people have gotten it confused. The other confusion is that you can't be co-infected. You can definitely have both. So again, if you're feeling that way, go to the doctor, okay? Because you can have the flu and COVID.
Yeah, that is definitely good to know.
Yeah. So now we're
Maybe I
going
should be
to,
going
every
to the
time
doctor
I
more.
hear someone sneeze in the office,
Send them to the doctor.
it's like, you got to go to the doctor. I'm going to need a slip that says you're clear.
They have rapid COVID tests at home, and
True. That's very true.
This is true.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes me getting out of work. Well,
We're just going to keep some in the office
Exactly.
for you. We see what you're
that's
doing
the
here.
only way. I think so. You mentioned Contagion. I had to look it up to see what movie it was, and now I know because it's the one guy from the Jason Bourne guy.
yes.
What other movies? Like, because you brought it up, so now I have to go there. What as a healthcare provider, what other movies or TV shows do you watch and you're like, come on now?
I don't know. It's just that one because when we went through training, that's one of the movies that they show us.
Oh,
And
they
it
use
just-
it as a training point.
Through
I
the
love
military,
that.
when we go through our public health training, it's one of the movies that they show us, and it was just odd because I had saw it prior, and then not being a public health nurse, just being a medical surgical nurse, and then seeing it with the public health goggles on, and you see things completely different, and realizing that this whole outbreak started because someone didn't wash their hands.
Yeah.
So it just always makes me, don't underestimate, that power of washing your hands. Like it's more effective than you think it is. Okay. So, I mean, there are other movies, but that's just the one that I can compare.
That sticks out.
That's the one that they showed us in school for us to understand the process of following the disease and where it started and how, the public health agencies respond and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I learned something new. I wouldn't have thought that they would have used the
I love that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay.
I'm going to go home and watch it tonight.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So something that had been mentioned was that the flu kind of went down in numbers during the peak of COVID. Have you guys seen the flu change over the last few years with COVID? And looking forward, how do we expect, if anything is changing, or if it's going to continue to the numbers will change based off of COVID and that sort of stuff?
So there's likely to be concurrent activity with flu and COVID this season. So it's very important with the flu season this year to get vaccinated, to make sure the community is up to date on their vaccines for both the influenza and COVID vaccines.
Well, so the biggest thing we probably saw change this year is that when the flu vaccine comes out, it comes out with what's called levels strains. So a lot of times off post, you'll see trivalent, which means there's 3 strains of the flu in it. And you'll see quadrivalent, which means there's 4 strains. What I noticed this year is that all of the flu that's being released this year is all quadrivalent.
Oh, okay.
Meaning that they have the 4 strains in there. That is probably the biggest thing I've seen. And then just the amount of cases. Because like I said, because we were doing so much with COVID, with the mask and social distancing and stuff, we saw a decrease. So I don't know I don't know what it's going to look like going. I will say we definitely wasted less flu during last year following COVID. So I think people were they want to get out more. So it's like, I'm going to take whatever's going to keep me from getting sick.
Yeah.
Because during the COVID season, because people were in so much and there were less cases, I saw a lot more wasted during that 2021, and we didn't waste much last year.
Okay.
So I think people were more apt about, let's get back out here, but let me do the things I need to do to protect myself.
Okay.
That's what I did see.
Okay.
And so I definitely saw that kind of, pushed up with what they are putting in the, vaccine, as far as making sure all 4 strains are in there, where there was the option to have the 3 strain or the 4 strain. But the military only offers the 4 strain. If you're going to get the 3 strain, it's usually offered off post.
Okay. Yeah. So my next question then is, obviously we're coming up on flu season.
Yes.
So when can people kind of roughly expect to be able to get a flu vaccine on post, and can people get them off post already?
So people can start to get them off post.
Okay.
You just need to check with wherever you go to make sure that they accept TRICARE.
Right.
And then depending on what facility, what establishments you go to, there may be a copay, there may not be.
Okay.
As far as military is concerned, our primary mission is to the readiness of our force.
Absolutely.
So our primary mission is to vaccinate the soldiers. And so that's kind of how we vaccinate in priority. And then once we get the soldiers taken care of, then we reach out to the beneficiaries. We usually will end our season with a community event where we vaccinate, the dependents, the kids, and all that. And that's
Okay.
usually in December.
Okay.
Once we get that date confirmed and location, we'll
Yeah.
definitely get that announced.
Absolutely.
For right now, we are waiting to get confirmation on our flu. Once we do, then we will reach out to the units, let them know we have it, and then they'll start vaccinating. But as far as family members are concerned, usually we get to them after we take care of the force. So they can go to
Off
wherever
post right now.
But then soon as we have taken care of the force and we release it to the clinics, then that information will be pushed out. They'll get it through the Credamsey messaging, and it'll be on the Facebook page, but they'll get notification, hey, you can start getting your vaccine through your clinics once we can give it through the clinics.
Awesome.
So do DA civilians get them on post too? Can they?
If you are a GS civilian, yes, you can. If you're a GS civilian, yeah.
Well,
I
that's
just
good to
started in the
know.
GS system, so that's good news
Yes.
to know. Yeah.
Yes,
Don't have
GS
to go stand in
civilians
line. Coolio.
Yeah.
You can come to the community event if, say, you're not attached to a unit that we either serve or has conduct their own mission.
Right. Okay.
We'll have to get with Tom and see.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else? I feel like we've covered so much. Is there anything else that we missed? Anything else that you guys feel is necessary to share with our listeners?
Just making sure that we are taking what's available out there. We do still, COVID isn't gone.
Right.
It is minimizing. When people kind of start looking at COVID like they look at flu, in reference to, you're probably going to see regular boosters just like flu.
Yeah.
Right? Because like I've mentioned before, a virus wants to live. So it's like, oh, you learned how to combat me at this level. So I'm going to, mutate to try to, to do something else so that I can pass, because they want to live.
Yeah.
So understanding that these boosters kind of look at it just like the flu, it may end up being a yearly thing. Okay. And it's, they have had some science about having both does have a protective effect because they're both respiratory illnesses. And, you don't want to have flu on top of COVID or vice versa.
Yeah.
Okay, so just making sure that we understand that and that we're taking care of ourselves and doing the things that we need to do. And if the vaccines are out there, please go get them. Okay, because there are several people that can't.
Yeah.
Right? Too young, they're very old, and then we have that population that us in the middle are responsible for protecting. So if you're not going to get it for yourself, then get it for, the people around you that you're trying to protect.
Yeah.
That's it? Nothing? You don't have no parting words for us? Well, see, we're going to have
It's
you
okay,
in
you
here
don't
more
have
often.
any. You don't have to have any parting words.
Yes. Yes. It's a must. No, we don't.
Okay.
Come to the community event, please.
As soon as you post it, as soon as you get the hard times,
Please.
we're there with bells on. Maybe not bells, but balloons.
Balloons.
It's usually in December.
December.
Usually in December, usually that first weekend, that could plus or minus a week, but usually it's that first Saturday in December. And when we get that location confirmed, it will be out there, please. That is what that is for you. I always bring my kids to that because it's the easiest. I ain't got to pull them out of school. Any of that. So come to that community. When you hear about the community event, please come to the community event.
Absolutely.
We have the vaccines there. And then we also have the Retiree Health Fair that's coming up
Mm-hmm.
on October 29th, I think. It's the last Saturday in October. We will be giving we do have a special vaccine, which is the high dose. So our over 65 will have it available for some of our retirees to be able to offer that to them. In addition to, there will be some preventive vaccines that are available for that population.
Awesome.
So that'll be there, and we'll also be giving them flu shots on Friday. Now that we're able to release to them because it's a special formula where it's a higher dose for that age group.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys
Thank you.
much for coming on the podcast today and sharing all this great information with us. We appreciate it.
I think I just had something caught in my throat, so I don't think it was the flu or anything. So we're good.
You're good to go.
Drink some orange juice.
Yeah, see, there we go.
Save money and get special military discounted tickets to your favorite attractions like Six Flags, Schlitterbahn, SeaWorld, Disney World, and more. Stop by our Leisure Travel Services office located right here on post to get those tickets. For more information, go to our website at hood.armymwr.com. Have fun!
And welcome back, everybody. Right now in this segment, we're going to shout out some of the retirees. Yes, we have a big event coming up. But before we do that, we have a special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Lorraine Shannon. I am the Chief Retirement Services Officer at the Retirement Service Office here on Fort Hood.
All right. Well, welcome today. We're glad to have you. So do you mind telling us a little bit about what y'all do at the Retirement Center here on Fort Hood?
So at the Retirement Service Center, at the services office, what we do is we brief soldiers and family members on their entitlements and benefits. We also deal with active duty deaths and retiree deaths. But for this time period, we're getting ready to celebrate all our retirees here in the area starting on the 28th and the 29th of October.
All right. So this is something I'm unfamiliar with. I only came to Fort Hood about 2 years ago, and this wasn't a thing. We weren't doing this 2 years ago.
That's correct, because of COVID.
Right.
But however, in 2019 and prior, we were doing this.
Really?
So we're happy to get back to it.
Well, I'm happy to be a part of it this year. Do you mind telling us a little bit about what we can expect from those 2 days?
So on the first day, which is going to be the 28th, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off with the golf tournament that's going to be held at the courses of Clear Creek. It'll be open to the first 150 people, and the information can be found in the newsletter that's posted on our homepage. Also, on that same day, we're going to have the retirement celebration for the soldiers who are retiring this year on the 28th at 11 at the Lone Star Conference Center. And then later on the day, we're going to have a Friday night social where it's going to be open to all the retirees and one guest of their choosing. And they're going to have fun because at that social, they're going to also end up playing bingo. Ooh. They're going to teach them how to line dance, and they're going to provide finger foods.
Oh my gosh. Can I sign up for this? I'm not retiring, but can I sign up? This sounds fun.
I know. Can I be the line dance teacher?
Yeah.
No, actually our DJ is going to be the person teaching everybody the different line dances. And I want to say it's like a total of almost 10 line dances, 10 different types that he's going to be teaching.
Wow.
Oh, you got to throw Copperhead Road in there. That's a Texas classic.
Okay, so that's the first day.
That's
so
the
second.
I did miss one thing on the first day. Also, starting at 9 o'clock to 11, they're going to do flu shots in the Copeland building in room Bravo 114. And what they're going to do is they also ask that whoever comes to get those flu shots, if they're planning on coming that Saturday, let them know so they can sign up for any other shots that they may need.
Okay. And what other kinds of shots are available? Do you know?
So they're going to have shingles, boosters, COVID. Again, if they didn't get a chance to get the flu shots on
they can still get it
on Saturday.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
And then what activities do we have planned for Saturday besides getting your shots?
So for Saturday, they're going to have the opening ceremony. Well, the breakfast starts at 7 in the morning. It's going to be free to the first 300 people that show up.
Okay.
And after that, they're going to close the kitchen down. But we're going to have the opening ceremony soon thereafter, which starts at 9. And right after that, that's when all the other events are going to open back up, like the county fair, where they're going to have different providers there giving you information about benefits that you're going to be entitled to as a retiree. And then other different types of vendors. We're going to have someone there showing all the different little emblems or the little coins, coin display. And it's major because he's been collecting all these different types of coins over years of service. Wow. He's a retiree as well. Wow. So after that, they're going to also extend the Theodore Roosevelt Warriors cafeteria.
The restaurant.
Yes. Restaurant. They're going to extend those hours for those retirees that are coming on post that day as well. However, they just have to pay the $5.85 for the meal.
Okay.
And then later on, they're going to have legal. The ID card sections are going to be open just for retirees that day. So if it's hard for people to get those appointments for those ID cards, that's the time to come get them.
That's awesome.
Yes. And then another thing that a lot of people really, really love is the horse detachment. Yeah. So at 2, later on that evening, they're going to be doing that, and it's amazing to watch as they race across the field with
doing the cavalry charge.
Right, that cavalry charge.
Yes.
And it's amazing to see in person versus seeing it on TV.
Yes.
Big difference.
Yes.
Big
Every
difference.
time First Cav comes on this podcast, shout out First Cav, we always talk about the cavalry charge and how cool it is.
Yes. And they're going to be able to take pictures so that they can remember that day.
Nice.
Oh, that's going to be so much fun.
Yes.
So I know recently the building for the ID cards has changed, so some of the retirees may not know where to go. Do you have that information for them?
Yes, sir. The building number is now going to be Building 130, which is the old MPD building. So it's right behind the USO building, and it's also on the corner of TJ Mills and Legends Way.
Yes, it is.
All right. And that's only retirees all day Saturday.
All day Saturday.
Wow. I love
retirees and their family members.
And their family members.
And their family members.
All
right.
Helping everybody out.
Yeah. Could you tell us how many retirees we have in this area? Do you know?
God.
I know there's a lot.
I can do a roundabout figure.
That's okay. Roundabout figure.
It's 156,000.
Ooh, that's a lot of people.
So Fort Hood is responsible not only for Fort Hood, but the surrounding areas. So we're responsible for 175 counties.
Wow. That's a lot of people.
Yes, it is a lot.
Goodness.
How many people are you guys expecting for this weekend? Do you
Anywhere
know?
from 3,000 to 4,000.
Woo! That's
That's
so
a good
many
thing.
people.
Yes.
That's amazing.
That's
yeah.
awesome. Especially the first year back after
Yes.
the whole
After
COVID
COVID.
debacle.
Debacle.
The debacle. It was a debacle.
COVID debacle. Oh boy. Yes, after COVID, after the pandemic.
COVID. After the pandemic. All right, I apologize.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I'm thrilled to hear that many people are planning on being there.
I'm happy that many people are going to be showing up.
Yes, I bet. Okay, well, is there anything else that you really wanted to share with us that we haven't covered yet?
Okay, so one thing that I need to make sure of is that everyone know where they need to go for wills and power of attorneys. Before we had put out it's supposed to be Building 13. However, it's been a location change. It should be Building 42,004, which is the tax center. So if they Google that, put it in their GPS, they can get to the location.
Okay.
So it's not at Building 13, it's Building 42,004.
Okay.
And if anyone needs to get a hold of us for additional information or anything like that, they can contact the Retirement Services Office at area code 254-287-5210 or area code 254-287-8761. If they would like to email us, they can also email us at the army.hood.rso office at army.mil.
Okay.
And we'll respond to them.
Okay, perfect. Well, great.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a busy weekend.
Yes,
then.
it is.
We're really looking forward to it because we haven't had it in 2 years.
I know. I'm excited. This is going to be my first time seeing it. So I'm going to be walking around, hopefully getting some
good
meeting
pictures.
some good pictures, but also meeting some of the retirees and hearing some of their
those
stories. Yeah,
yes,
that's
and they
the best
want to hear
part.
your story too.
I want to hear
a lot of
stories.
people don't understand that. A lot of the retirees like to talk to the young soldiers so they can see how much of a difference it is now versus to what it was when they were in.
Yeah.
That's a very good
Yes.
point. That's a very good
Love
point.
that.
Well, thank you for coming on today and sharing all of this information about the upcoming weekend for
Thank
retirees.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Hey golfers, are you looking for a new course to play? The Courses of Clear Creek is a 27-hole course with challenging greens located in the scenic rolling hills of Fort Hood. With a 300-yard driving range, 2 putting greens, and a 4-hole kids course, we're the premier golf course in Central Texas. Our pro shop is always stocked with the latest golfing equipment and name brand apparel, while our beautiful pavilion overlooking the course is a great place to enjoy a cold beverage. The Courses of Clear Creek, open to the public, offering annual, monthly, and summer membership packages. Give us a call today at 254-287-4130 or find us on the web at hood.armymwr.com.
All right, so I know I sound sick. I promise I'm not. I did a lot of yelling over the weekend.
Yes.
Yes.
You'll have to tell us why.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. But trust me, if I was sick, I believe the nurses from Kurt Dempsey probably would have told me, go get tested for COVID or go get tested for the flu. Because we just talked about the flu and how important it is to like stay vigilant. So I promise I'm not sick.
Yes, and they didn't have their mask on when she was talking, so we're good.
Right, so they believed me.
Yes.
That's their approval, I think.
Well, shoot, I need to go get my flu shot just in case now.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And you can go get it off post as well. You don't have to just worry about getting it on post.
That's true.
Especially good for children, daycares. They spread real quick with any sort of cold or flu.
Absolutely.
That is very true.
But making sure when
Kids.
you're going out there to get your flu shot and your pumpkin spice, you go to a good insert name here place. To get
Well, I'll tell you what, I need to pick up my flu shot before that retiree day
Yes.
Yes.
because I want to hear some of those stories.
Exactly.
So,
I know.
I'm looking forward to it.
looking forward to it too. It's going to be fun.
The
It's gonna
horses
be-
sounded really cool.
oh, it's
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
so much fun.
It's going to be so fun to have all these people like back on the installation. Hopefully get to hear all their stories.
That's going to be a good time.
And it's
I
been
know.
a good minute since they've held a retiree
Yes,
day.
yes.
I've never been I've been here almost two years, something like
I
that.
don't know.
Well, I don't know.
You're looking at us like
I
we should
should.
know.
I don't know, but this is my first one. So,
Mine too.
And I think as a retiree, I think being able to have those options at one day, because as you know, as she said in the interview, they're not even doing wheels on post. And for a lot of the elderly retirees, that's a big thing when they go to, restructure how they want their last wishes to be. And so I think having all of those events in one weekend is going to be great for those veterans, those retirees. It's going to be great for us because we get to go hear some cool stories. I know someone has a story from Fort Hood from like the 70s or 80s that's just crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
I can imagine. All right, and one last thing I do want to bring up why you lost your voice. So little tiny section of Sports with Sam where you tell Sam about sports. Why did you lose your voice?
So I lost my voice because I went to the KU football game. And I have decided I no longer can watch KU football or go to a KU football game because the one game I watched, we lost. So rock chalk. I'm very sad.
That was the saddest one yet.
Yeah,
I
very
can tell
sad.
you
I've,
sound sad.
I've been so like hyped up about it, and but I will say we played really well for having a second string quarterback. We played really well. We still like showed up and performed. We should have won. We had some silly mistakes. We very, very easily should have won that, but we didn't.
Look, you're still in the running for a bowl game. So,
True, we are. We're still doing good. I'm still proud of us.
That's also like just
5
going
and
to
1
school.
is-
As long as you go to school, you're gonna
Basically.
pass. So
Yeah.
just saying, that's how the bowl games work. just
Okay,
saying.
well, the
Way to
last
hit her
bowl
while
game
she's down.
I know, golly. Last bowl game we went to was in 2008, the Orange Bowl. Come on.
And you were like 7?
2008, I was in 8th grade.
Oh my gosh.
So I did not care about KU football at all.
She didn't even realize that she was gonna be a KU.
I did not. I
Yeah.
thought I was going to go to a Florida university still at that point.
Florida.
Oh, how things have changed. All right. Well, anything else, anybody?
Make
all
sure
I
to
got.
bundle up next week.
Oh yeah,
yes.
that's right.
I totally forgot about that.
It is going to get a little nippy. So make sure you get your pea coats out.
Yes.
On the bright side, Texas fall is finally here.
I know.
because I feel like it.
Goodness.
Summer really drags out.
Kind of does.
It does, but you got to think too. This is also probably going to be one of those years where we will be wearing shorts on Christmas Day again.
You think so?
Oh yeah, like growing up, that's all we did. Like I can remember in my entire life, it only snowing on Christmas 3 times from late 1900s till now. It's only snowed.
It was one of those times just last year.
Well, that wasn't Christmas though. But still, like we very seldomly get snow, and it's very seldomly like bitterly like Midwestern cold up here, down here, wherever we are.
Here.
Over
Central
there.
Texas.
Central
here.
Texas.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
It'll snow in Dallas, not in Central Texas.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah.
I like the snow.
I do too.
My husband's from Arizona, so every time it happens, he gets really excited about it.
That's so funny.
Everyone likes snow until there's snow on the ground.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. I think I like the fact that when it does snow here, it's like 2 days and then poop, all gone. You're like, it's like it never happened.
And you're back wearing shorts again.
Yeah.
That is, honestly, I'm
a
pretty
perk.
sure after that freeze, I was wearing shorts.
Yeah.
Very shortly after.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
yeah. Well, start winterizing, getting ready for in case that does happen again, because you never know with Texas. So
Yeah, you don't.
It's true.
Very good point.
now is the time. Yeah.
Also, Halloween's coming up in a couple of weeks too.
Oh, cannot
Halloween
wait.
safety. Make sure you're, monitoring what your kids are going to be wearing, so that when they're walking around, they're not tripping all over themselves.
I'm so excited for
Checking
Halloween.
that candy. By checking it, I mean you eating the candy, making
Yes.
sure it's good.
You have to
Look,
get parent
it's-
tax.
I was just
parent
about
tax.
to say it's the
And
parent
if you
tax.
don't want it, you can always bring it
Ooh.
to the 3 Corps headquarters,
Yes.
and we will take it off your hands.
Gladly. Yes.
You'll say package for Eric, and
Yes.
they'll know exactly what.
Exactly.
Yes. We'll tell the people at the front desk.
Yes.
Oh, goodness. Okay, well, that's officially all we have for this week.
All right.
So we will see you guys next week.
Adios.
Bye.
This podcast is a U.S. Army Garrison Fort Hood and Fort Hood Public Affairs production. The show's theme music is written and produced by Delicious All-Stars. All our music is obtained through Filter by Songtrader. Have a question or want to share some insights with us? Email us at forthoodpao@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at USAG Fort Hood. And as always, be sure to leave a review and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.